Herbivore. Herbivore.
Good morning. How's everyone doing? Good to see you all again. Larry Coxlock, you are first. You win the internet for today. Well done. Vegan Potterhead, she's here. She's very lovely. Benny Boy's in the house. Oi oi. My good friend Robert Pacino, Vegan Realist. Johnny Legs. Larry, I usually cook. This music's a bit loud, isn't it? Shut up. Hang on. There we go. I usually cook with olive oil. I wonder if I should keep using it or replace it. And is olive oil a good way to get omega-3? No. Olive oil is not a good way to get omega-3. Let me just have a look-see. Olive oil. It's going to be skewed much in favour of omega-6, I'll tell you that. So that would be a poor way. And if you're heating oil, you're destroying any omega-3 that's in there anyway. So no, that is not a good tactic. Per 100 grams, I wouldn't suggest having 100 grams of oil, that'd be horrible for your health. You would only get 0.8 of a gram of omega-3, which as I say will be destroyed the minute you heat it, versus 9.8 grams of omega-6. So the ratio is about 14 to 1 in favour of omega-6. It's very pro-inflammatory. And 100 to none in terms of if you cook the oil, if you heat it, you destroy the, as I say, the omega-3. So that's not good. You know, people think of olive oil as being like a health food, and you know, healthy compared to what? If you're replacing butter with it, it's healthy. If you're replacing other calories from whole plant foods with the fibre, with the polyphenols that are attached to the fibre, with the vast majority of vitamins and minerals, you know, all you're left with when you refine like olives into an oil, you know, most of the nutrition runs down the drain with the water. Like most nutrients are water soluble. So the couple of fat soluble ones, yeah, you got a bit of vitamin E in there. You know, you got a tiny amount of like polyphenols, but most often are attached to the fibre. You know, you're feeding pathogenic gut bacteria. It's pro-inflammatory. It's got like some saturates in there. I mean, you know, if you were to eat a whole foods plant-based diet and have a couple of tablespoons of olive oil, particularly if you didn't heat it up, like, will that have much of a difference on the outcome? The truth is, we don't know. We've not done that study. We want, basically, you want thousands of whole foods vegans and then thousands of whole foods vegans plus 2 tablespoons of olive oil and see what happens over the lifetime. I mean, that study will probably never happen. But I think we can infer that it wouldn't be as healthful. You know, as I say, you've got no fibre. You know, you're feeding pathogenic gut bugs. You're skewing your omega-6 and 3 ratio, so you'd have to eat much more omega-3. You know, there's a few people currently who are like banging on about olive oil being like a health food, and it's not. It's certainly not optimal. It's certainly not optimal. I prefer to cook with water than oil. I think it's far healthier. Shuring, you're pretty buff for a 9-year-old. Thanks for noticing. I have, of course, gone through hormone therapy. Larry, it says on Chronometer that I still have not enough protein. I don't have protein powder and wonder how could I increase it. You should get adequate from whole plant foods, unless you're a real hardcore like bodybuilder or something. Larry, tell me about your physique, like your weight, like your sort of, if you don't mind talking about your body composition in terms of muscle and fat. And like, are you a strength or physique athlete, or are you just, are you not trying to grow serious amounts of muscle? What? Because I'm just wondering, like, who is Chronometer to tell you how much protein you need? I don't know what the values are set at. Some people have some very funny ideas about how important protein is, and for the masses, World Health Organization says for your average male, 56 grams per day. So if we look here, let me, hang on. I need to change that to that. Done. If we look here, here is a plan that I wrote for like a female, like on a cut, trying to lose fat, trying to lose weight. Now, 1,750 calories, and look at this, 77 grams of protein without trying. She needs 46, she's got 77. So what was she eating? Oats. Oh, okay, so 200 mils of soya milk, that's the only processed food. 200 mils of soya milk. There is, I don't know, what about 5, how much protein is in that? Not a whole lot. 6 grams of protein in the whole thing. Other than that, oats, berries, dates, flax seeds, chia seeds, kidney beans, kale, sweet potato, yellow and red peppers, sunflower seeds, lentils, quinoa, tomatoes, spinach, onion, mushrooms, Brazil nuts. She just was eating whole plant foods, plus a glass of like soya milk. Protein 77.4 grams. You can see all the essential amino acids are at least 138%. Sorry, no. All the essential amino acids are at least 176%. This is 2.5x, this is 1.7x, this is 2.8x, this is 2x, this is 3.3x. Do you know what I mean? It's such a non-issue unless you are a massive steroid abusing, growth hormone and insulin abusing bodybuilder, or your diet is atrocious. It should be a non-issue. It's not a thing that most vegans eating a healthy diet, it's not something that you should have to even think about. So yeah, I just wonder how much protein do you need? What's your stats? And whatever else I was then going to say. Which I've forgotten. Don't worry about it. It probably wasn't that important. Anyway, get back to me and we'll try and work that out. Kat Chan in the house, how you doing? That's a cool name. Eliza's here. Subscribe to her channel. She's lovely people. Dan is also here. Squad. Larry Coxock, do you like using glycon radish? No, I don't really know what it is, if I'm honest, in your food. And is it a good meat replacer? I doubt it, but let's have a look. Mooli. I've eaten it once. No, it's just a vegetable. Yeah, it wouldn't have nutritionally. It wouldn't be very. It wouldn't have similar like nutrient profile to meat. No. I imagine it's a cruciferous vegetable. Or is it? No, it's not a crucifer, is it? Or is it? It might be a crucifer. I imagine it's very health promoting, but not so much muscle promoting. Janet, what supplements do you use? I use Vivo Life's vitamin D3, which comes with a K2. So, you know, because I live in the UK and don't get, I get hardly any sun at all. B12, of course, DHA, which most people don't need as long as you balance your omega-3 and 6. But I use it as a fail-safe. Some people may be unlucky where they perhaps they have a genetic predisposition, like a mutation, where they can't produce elongase, the enzyme to elongate ALA to EPA and DHA. So I put it in just as a fail-safe. There is some data to suggest there may be a benefit for some people, for some populations. I use Vivo Life's creatine as a pre-workout sort of booster. I use their Perform protein powder. I have a couple of scoops of that. If I wasn't bodybuilding, I wouldn't be taking creatine or a protein powder. But for an athlete, you know, I see those as beneficial. You know, is it optimal for your health? Certainly, you know, the data would suggest stick to whole plant foods. But for a bodybuilder or a strength athlete, it's just helpful to be a little higher percentage in terms of protein. Link below, 10% off with my discount code HENCH10 if you want to try any of that. I use their matcha as well. I mean, that's not really a supplement, that's a tea. They have maca, I do use. It's like an adaptogenic root, which is gelatinized, so it's very efficacious rather than being really fibrous, sort of starchy like most brands. I use CBD as well. CBD oil, I get this sent for free from Honest Hemp. I've been using it for 2 years on the maximum dose, and I find it very efficacious as an anxiolytic to keep you calmer. It brings down inflammation in the body, so you know, less pain from like, you know, exercise recovery and you know, your joints and all that sort of good stuff. Helps you to sleep as well. I think that's about it. I do microdose certain things, which I'm not going to get into now because I can't be bothered to do all the caveats that you have to do. Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. But mostly, yeah, I think I get most of my benefit from just eating whole plant foods. You know, legumes, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, herbs and spices. By the bucket, by the wheelbarrow full. Just so nutritionally dense, like so hydrating. It's amazing. My health is just gone skyrocketed. It's mental. But yeah, I think supplements can be an aid, but I think, you know, diet is number 1 through 9. You know, and like supplements are like the cherry on the top. But we do, of course, need our B12 and our D3 in the winter months. Johnny, Shearing Leon, why? Start with a Jimmy Carr joke or an empty prison sentence. I don't know what's going on there, but I like it. Larry, what are your thoughts? Did you mean to say on mushroom and microgreen farms? You think that is the future? I've got no idea. Mushrooms are great. They are, by way of DNA, mushrooms are a lot closer to us than they are plants. There's some unique micronutrients. They're great. I try to include a serving of mushrooms daily, and in fact I also have like functional mushrooms in my protein powder, and as I say, some other types of mushrooms which we won't go into. I think mushrooms are fascinating, really fascinating. Microgreens, you know, they're hugely nutritious, but they tend to be pretty expensive and they're so tiny. But no, if you can get them, if you can afford them, great addition to your diet. I don't know about farming in the future. I'm not really into any kind of agriculture. I don't have the first clue. I just know how to eat it all. I'm pretty good at that. Foxy Blonde's here. Good morning, fellow vegans. Good to see you again. Larry, do you try to live zero waste? No, No, we do what we can. Like when we were financially like better off, we got all our produce from a veg box like delivery place, and they were great. They were like plastic free, but then like money's not been so great in recent months, so we've had to go back to like supermarkets, and you know, just you can't get away from it, can you? It is really sad, and it really, really sucks, and I hope things soon change to make it more, you know, within everyone's reach. Like, why should you have to pay more? Why should you have to pay less to have everything wrapped in plastic? Like, it's weird. Like, that's an added thing. Surely if they take that away, it's cheaper for them, isn't it? I don't get how that works. I would like to cut down on my waste. Like we have tried. We do try in certain instances where we can. But yeah, it's just, yeah, I certainly wouldn't try to say there's anything near zero waste. I think that's a long way off. So really sadly, I'd love to. Stacey Langley, good to see you, my lovely. Blood Hill. Morning all. Did anyone see the McGregor fight? Nasty stuff. Too much milk. No, didn't he break his leg or something? I heard. Yeah, too much milk. Yeah, that was a point. When he fought Diaz, he was saying that Diaz was like a vegan and like he's going to get a steak in him and all that. Well, that didn't do him a lot of good, did it? And Harad's Life is here. Good morning, everyone. From the car on my way to an appointment. Good to see you. I hope that Linda and Fudge are doing well. And thanks for my Fudge GIF on the Discord. Robert Pacino in the house. Vegan Botterhead. How do I motivate myself to eat more fruits and vegetables? Stop eating any junk food. If you're eating any junk food at all, vegetables will taste bitter. Fruit won't taste that sweet. You won't be very drawn to do it. The minute you cut out junk foods, like real food will taste like the most amazing thing. I think that's the key. Super Monkey, are dried fruits about as healthy as regular fruits? I've got to think that a lot of the nutrients are like decaying. You know, it's obviously important to be hydrated. So I don't know where the level is. I wouldn't call dried fruits unhealthy, and I eat a lot of them. In fact, most of the fruit I eat is dried, just for the fact that I need to get so much volume of food in me. Probably not about as healthy, but not too bad would be my guess. But I don't know that we've got science to kind of show exactly where everything is. I would be interested to see that if anyone ever sees anything like that. Great question, Super Monkey. Where in the world are you, and how's the vegan scene there, and how's veganism treating you? I'm interested. Vegan something in the house. Blood Hill, have you seen Greg's new vegan cheese and ham sandwich? Probably coconut oil in the cheese, but it's another step in the right direction as far as fast food. No, I didn't hear about that. That's really good news. Did you guys see my latest video? I was invited to a Bannatyne's spa resort, and to the opening of their restaurant, which they made fully vegan Bannatyne's restaurant. Hang on, let me get the link. What a sign of the times. This, I still can't quite believe it. Here's the link if you want to check it out. Perhaps play it in another window if you want to, because that'll help the algorithm, or check it out later. Anyway, Bannatyne's fully vegan menu, and they also have a spa there, and then they're doing like vegan spa days as well now. Crazy. Crypto Color Light Tech, Hench Herbivore, how do you keep your prostate healthy? Just general lifestyle habits. You know, if you do all the things, rest well, eat well, sleep well, you know, love, laugh. Specific to the prostate would be ground flax seeds. I would encourage you to eat a tablespoon daily, they have high amounts of a phytoestrogen, or type of phytoestrogens known as lignans. And now, half of men reaching age 85 or older will have prostate cancer. Whether or not that's the thing that kills them, half of men reaching 85 years old will have prostate cancer. To be less likely to be one of those men with it, eat more lignans. The men with the most lignans in their prostate fluid tend to have the least prostate cancer. It's super effective, and what was I then going to say? There's 100 times the lignans in ground flax relative to any other food. Now, don't think, oh, if 1 tablespoon is good, like a kilo will be great, because unfortunately, when you consume flax seeds, some people call them linseeds, and you chew them up, and as they mix with water, you actually produce cyanide in the gut. It actually makes cyanide. Now, there's a bit of cyanide in a lot of things. There's a bit of arsenic in a lot of things. It's the dose that makes the poison. So don't use that as a reason not to eat them, because like a tablespoon, like that really will bulletproof you against like prostate cancer, breast cancer as well for women. But yeah, you don't want to be putting in tons of it because of the cyanide. And like, anti-vegans will say like, oh, you eat food with cyanide in it. Well, the good thing is about whole plant foods is if you eat like the right amount, like a sensible amount of stuff, like it protects you from dying. But there is no amount of animal products that is healthy. Like you're just adding to your disease risk and all-cause mortality risk the more animal products you put in. So the best amount is 0. So, wakey. Foxy Blonde, I am 5'1", 8 stone in weight, 48 years old. What chart did you use to show how much protein is required? I'm still very active. So that was Chronometer. Can you see on the top left there? Chronometer. It's a free app. Yeah, so you should probably only need about 46 grams of fiber, unless you're working out really, really, really hard. So 8 stone. Yeah, I wouldn't go off of the recommendations on a chronometer, because that might be set up to someone else's like idea of what's healthy. Yeah, for your average female, 46 grams per day. If you're in really hard, like say weight training where you're trying to build muscle, then nearer 1.6 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight per day may be more optimal. You may not need as much as that. For someone trying to lose weight or maintain weight while they're building muscle and burning fat off, aka recompositioning, more like 2 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight per day, again, may be more optimal. You certainly wouldn't need more than that. The goat, where do you stand on mussels and oysters? I don't. They wouldn't like it. They're not sentient, and in many cases can be grown by rope and not have any bycatch. I just think that, not that they probably really care, but they've got better things to do. And like, they're bottom feeders. Like the ocean is the sewers of mankind, and they're basically sifting all the, pardon my French, shit that goes into the ocean. Not just shit, but industrial pollutants, heavy metals, pesticide like runoff, dioxins, PCBs. What is it? No, I've forgotten. Anyway, just a load of like the most toxic stuff. Everything that we are done with, all the crap, all the medicines and rubbish people pour down the sink, throw down the toilet. It's collecting in these like creatures that are like sifting all. Like, why? Would be my question. Why? It's not. It's not going to be healthy. There's no fiber in them. There's virtually no nutrition. Well, very little nutrition relative to whole plant foods. You get a bit of protein or whatever. Maybe a bit of DHA. I don't know how fatty they are. They're probably not very fatty. Nothing you can't get from plants. you know, or like an algae oil supplement, but then you get none of the toxins that bioaccumulate up the food chain. You know, microplastics as well. Microplastics will be in their flesh, so you'd be eating hormone disrupting xenoestrogens by eating their flesh. So not for me, but I can see how you're trying to say it's probably less, like it's probably not so unethical. I sort of see your perspective. 80 Bananas is in the house. Good morning from Chicago, the Windy City. How are you doing, my friend? Thanks for joining. How's the vegan scene in Chicago? Sky Cosplay. I think cosplay looks super cool. There's a vegan cosplay lady, Gracia Villar, Mexican lady, really nice. She sometimes leaves me nice comments on my videos. It's got hundreds of thousands of followers. Really talented, really good singer. Anyway, I digress. What was I then saying? I don't know. Where were we? Oh yeah, cosplay. Greetings from New Zealand. Thank you. How's the vegan scene where you are in New Zealand as well? Yukon Wolves is in the Hangout. You guys enjoyed your dinner at Woodlands? Yes. Yeah, that was crazy good. Yeah, that was the only downside was the train home. We didn't really look at it properly, and we didn't get home till gone midnight, and we're normally asleep by 10, so we were very grumpy individuals. But it was worth it though. I wouldn't change it. Yeah, we had the best evening. What about that vegan Bannatyne's restaurant? Who'd have thunk it? When I went there, I'll be honest, I just thought that they'd launched a vegan menu as part of what they do, but it's exclusively vegan. Yeah, that was a lovely time. They really looked after us. They were lovely staff, really friendly. Gave us a lovely gift, little goodie bag with all these personal care products, vegan ones, and they really made a fuss of us. They were really nice. Larry, it says I need 56 grams of protein. That's probably, I do sport and walk twice every day, but I don't need to. Yeah, so 56 should be fine. If you can't get that from your diet, I would question the quality of your diet, because like I say, that small woman on a diet, on a weight loss diet, got 77 grams of protein. That was without me trying. So, eat your legumes, eat your whole grains, eat some fruit and veg, but don't go, if you're struggling to eat enough volume of food, don't go for really low calorie stuff, or don't go for too much really low calorie stuff. Of course, you want some leafy greens for the minerals, vitamin K, things like that, but don't eat a huge wheelbarrow full of kale and then you're not eating your legumes and your whole grains. So that's where a lot of your protein comes in. Nuts and seeds are great as well. Tropical dried fruits. If you're eating real food, 56 grams of protein should be so easy. You do sport, so you're fairly active. You walk twice a day. That should be a non-issue. Are you losing weight super quick? Or are you just eating real processed food with not much nutritive value? Let me know. Let's chat about this more and get you on track. Threx says, hey everyone, how are you doing? I'm very good. I'm having fun with all my peeps. How are you, Threxes? Where in the world are you? How's the vegan scene? Are you vegan or curious or here to cause a ruckus? Let us know. We like to welcome everyone to the stream. E-Dubs in the house. You're good. How are you doing? Yeah, never better. I'm so happy in life. Things are going really well. Got exciting plans ahead of us, involving a couple of location changes. Feeling well. Gemma's feeling well. Business is really starting to pick up now, and I get to hang out with my friends. I actually, do you know what I mean? This is how I earn my living, hanging out with my mates. I'm very lucky. I'm very, very lucky. But do you have an invite to go to Bannatyne's? Oh, it's the one in the corner for me. Unfortunately, I just got given the one for me and Gemma, and that was just a one-off. Unfortunately. If not, I would happily oblige you, Vegan Pothead. Larry, which whole plant foods have the most protein, or are they a bit equal to? Yeah, it's really legumes, number one. Lentils, chickpeas, split peas, beans. Number two, possibly whole grains, amaranth, quinoa. And then a bit lesser, like your rices, wheat, oats. And then nuts and seeds are generally pretty good for protein as well. Of course, they have appreciable amounts of fats. If someone really was struggling, I would say add in 1 or 2 servings of a more processed plant food, like protein food, like a protein powder, tofu, seitan. Oh, we're dropping a seitan chicken recipe today. It's really lifelike. It was a bit scary. We made like a healthy mayo. It's very delicious though. We'll drop a video probably tonight. I think after this I'll probably try and film. I just need to film the taste test bit again, and I'll try and get that up. Seitan is ridiculously high in protein. Is it about 50% protein by weight? I can't remember. Let's have a look. Delete. Of course, it's entirely made from gluten. So if you're gluten intolerant, don't add in seitan. But if you're not, it's really good. So 100 grams of seitan gives you 21 grams of protein. So is that about what you get from meat? I can't really remember now. It's been so long since I've eaten any of it. But yeah, seitan, very good. Tempeh, textured vegetable protein. If you add in a little nutritional yeast, which is like single-celled mushrooms, basically, like a nutty, cheesy sprinkle you can put on top of your food, or you can cook with it, make cheese sauces and things. That is 50% protein by weight, so that's potentially another good way to get some extra protein in you. What's this camera doing? Stupid. Right, let's sorted that out. Vegemite cod bod. Good to see you toffee girls in here again. The goat is in here. WV, what time do you sleep, right? 10 p.m. to about 5 or 6 a.m. So quite in line with the planet, with my circadian rhythm, which is ideally how you want it to optimize your health and lifespan. Anchor, I just arrived, so unfortunately we'll have to see you tonight. Okay, I hope everything goes okay. Love to you all, and be well. We love ya. EW, do you have any tips on quitting junk food? I'm a lot more into soy food instead of sweets. Yeah, I say you need to get your mind space right, and you need to commit to 2 or 3 weeks of just whole foods. Now you're not going to really enjoy it, but after that 2 to 3 weeks, you are going to really enjoy it. You'll taste real food for how it's meant to taste. You reset your taste buds, you'll enjoy it. And then if someone cooks you something with oil or high sugar or salty, you may think ugh, this is a bit too much. Ideally stay off it though, because there's a chance if you do enjoy it, you undo all your good work and then you're 2 or 3 weeks back behind. I say cut it out completely, because if you leave it in, you're just it's too hard. Most people cannot eat things in moderation. We get a taste for something hyper palatable, particularly if we're hungry, we're going to rip through the whole thing. Now years ago when we were walking around trying to find our food and food was scarce, if you tasted something hyper palatable, that would have been fruit, that would have been like a strawberry bush or whatever, however strawberries come, and you'd have been ripping into it. Or they grow on the ground, don't they? Sorry, I remember now. Anyway, you'd be ripping through these strawberries, and you want to eat as many as you can before some other bugger sees them and rinses them all. So at that time, that was a good adaptation. But now, with the advent of drive-thrus and Big Macs and strawberry milkshakes and donuts, and well, for you, fries and crisps, Yeah, you're set up to fail. So basically, avoid it at all costs. Just go whole plant foods, legumes, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, herbs, and spices. Stick to that for 3 weeks. Imagine your life depends on it. Like, I don't know, hold yourself accountable. Like, make an announcement, say on your Facebook page, oh, I'm doing a 3-week, Hench Herbivore has challenged me to a 3-week whole foods plant-based eating challenge. All I'm allowed to eat is these healthy foods. Every day I'm going to post my 3 meals or whatever it is. And do it.
We've created a new... Hi everyone. We have created a new Facebook community. It's called Hench Herbivore Community. So
I'll post the link.
If anybody wants to hold themselves accountable to sticking to whole plant foods or whatever they're trying to do, they're trying to go vegan or whatever, come in there, post your meals, like tell us, show us in there. We can all give you encouragement. It's a great place for accountability. It's quite new, but it's got a good amount of people in there already. So we've started sharing like recipes and when we're streaming, stuff like that. Yeah, you were just saying that and I thought what a great idea, and I thought come in there because we'll all really cheer you on if that's the thing you want to do. Anyway, good day to you.
Good day to you, madam. And how are you doing?
I'm doing good, how are you?
Yeah, shall we quickly make a plan for the day? Because I'm really late on today, so I'm thinking to finish the video off after this.
Yeah, sure. I've got counselling at 1:30.
1:30.
1:30 to 2:30, so
yeah.
I can do anything before or after.
So before, do that, and then lunch, and then maybe after counselling, would you be willing to come to the gym to do some filming?
Yeah.
I was just thinking I've not done any filming in there for a while.
Okay.
Be an hour.
Yeah.
And then what else? Oh, we're streaming tonight, aren't we?
Yeah. Okay.
Good?
Good. No, I haven't got any makeup. You come up here.
You have, haven't you?
I've got a bit on. But... Sorry, everybody. Off I go.
She's weird.
I'll kiss you later.
I'm disgusted. EW, and what you'll find is as the days and weeks go on, you just start to feel so amazing and you don't want to go back. At least that's what happened to me. I hope that helps. I know that sounds like a huge hill to climb. If you want it, if you want to live the longest, happiest, healthiest life and be the best advocate for animals, you can do 2 or 3 weeks of anything if it's important enough. But if you're not really that bothered about it, you won't do it. I hope that helps. Stacey, I didn't eat that healthy over the weekend, so determined to eat better this week. Started off with a fruit smoothie. There you go, that's a brilliant start. Foxy Blonde, yes, I was watching it while in live today. It looks fantastic. Hopefully we will all have a restaurant like this near us soon. That's the dream, isn't it? Blood Hill, is that Bannatyne as in the dragon? Yeah, Duncan Bannatyne's business. I don't think he knows about it. I don't think he even knows. Larry, who are your favourite vegan content creators or underrated ones that you recommend? I don't know really. To be honest, I don't really watch a lot of YouTube. That's the truth of it. I don't watch a lot, and what I do watch more is like the creator channels, like how to do YouTube and how to do well on Instagram. So I would say I like vegan channels fairly equally. I watch some of the fitness ones just to keep an eye on the competition and see what they're up to. But I don't watch a whole load. More like sort of friends really, like Mooncat and then Family Freedom. You know, I sort of keep up to date with what they're up to. So I never get to see them these days. We're all so busy, aren't we? And we live quite far apart. Super Monkey, I'm from Norway. Interesting. There are more and more dairy alternatives showing up in the grocery stores. Nice. Not vegan, but slowly moving towards it. Let's give Super Monkey a round of applause, please. You sound like good people. And that's a cool name. Leo, I recently bought some Vivo Life using your code. Thank you. Thank you. That helps support what I'm doing. I feel though I can see and feel more bulk based on my ugly and accurate scales. There's no muscle mass increase. If you're using bioimpedance, then they're rubbish. Like, just throw it out. Like, don't. Even like a DEXA scan is like the most sort of accurate we've got, and they're not great. You can have 5 different DEXA scans and they'll come out with 5 different results. I used bioimpedance with infrared scanning one. So you sort of go on this turntable that spins you around, really high tech, and it shows you like a computer model of yourself. And my strength stayed virtually the same. I got super ripped, but it told me that I'd put fat on and lost muscle mass. It was absolutely, and this is an expensive, like multi-thousand pounds like piece of equipment in a commercial gym, let alone anything you got at home. It's not. No, don't even worry about it. It's BS. So I would say I would go by see and feel more bulked up. So yeah, it's keeping an eye on like your total body weight, on like your midsection, like if that's growing or staying the same or shrinking. But then on your strength, you know, if your strength is slowly going up, you know, regardless of what any scales like reckons, you're getting more muscular, like you just are. Like, there's no two ways about it. Yeah, I wouldn't, if you're using like these kind of scale, even calipers are not great. Like, it's really hard. It's really hard. If anything, like maybe a DEXA scan is like reasonable. Super chat. Foxy Blonde, very generously donated 5 Great British pounds. Thank you for the info. Love this channel. She's not even got a blinking question. Why is the mic over here? Sorry everyone, the mic was not even in front of me before, so it's amazing you even heard me. She's not got a question, she's just supporting her local neighbourhood vegan YouTuber out of the kindness of her heart. What a lovely lass. Really appreciate you, Foxy Blonde. Right. Where was I? I seem to be miles behind. I'll try and speed up a little bit. Morning, Owen. Toffee Girl, I try and have ground flax for ALA. Dr. Clapper said that algae supplements could cause prostate cancer in men. I think that's based off of fish oil studies, though. I'm sure it's like for women. No, I wouldn't. I mean, I love Dr. Clapper, but he's at odds with some of the other guys I like Dr. Gregor. We don't know for sure, but it seems like a DHA is possibly a benefit for certain people, but like an algae-based one, not a fish oil-based one. Certain people, like possibly children, pregnancy, the elderly, that may confer a benefit. But yeah, for most people, you only need a couple of tablespoons of ground flax and or chia to get your 2.2 grams of ALA for a female, 3.2 for a male. If you're a really poor converter, you may need up to about 3.5 tablespoons of ground flax or chia. But you may be really unlucky, and you may be someone who can't. There are a few rare people who cannot convert ALA into EPA and DHA, and that could be that they've got a mutation on the elongase gene, so they don't produce the enzyme required. So for that reason, I like to add it in as a fail-safe. Yeah, the data isn't perfect. The data isn't perfect. I mean, I'm a big fan of Dean and Aisha Sherzai, these neurosurgeons. Like, they really go deep into the data, and I listened to their podcast, and their opinion was probably no negative to algae-based DHA. Some people may, confer a benefit from adding it in. Most people don't need it, as long as you balance your omega-3 and 6 and you're getting adequate. But yeah, sadly, you get the odd person who does need a direct source of DHA. So, this is the trouble with science. Like, a lot of it is not definitive, and Yeah, even among the plant-based doctors, like there's like disagreement. And it's annoying because I love all of them. Well, all the old guard, you know, your Clappers, your Ornish, your Esselsteins, your Barnards, you know. And so if they don't agree on something, I just think, oh, bloody hell, like now who do I listen to? But yeah, I don't think that these DHA studies were done on algae oil. I think that because most people use fish oil, don't they? And fish oil, I was talking earlier about the contaminants in the sea and how they biomagnify up the food chain. They store in fat. They store in the fish's oil. So I can see why fish oil would not be great. But anyway, what do I know? Each to their own. And yeah, thanks for the question. That was great. Larry, if I want to work out more, then how can I change chronometer on mobile for growing muscle? I don't really know, to be honest. I don't really know. You can program it. I've never really tinkered about in there, and I've mostly used desktop. But you can do it. But basically, if you're going into a caloric surplus, you only need about 1.6 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight per day. More like 2 if you're doing a recomp or a cut. And yeah, just calculate that based on your stats and punch that in. Foxy Blonde, thank you. I'll check that out. Is DHA... is DHA and then something D3 drops? I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Are we talking about Vivo Life? And yeah, they do an omega-3, which is the DHA. It's EPA and DHA, which may confer benefits to have some EPA as well, potentially. But they also do D3 with K2. So yeah, they do both of those and the B12. I hope that answers that. Let me know if I didn't understand the question. Thanks, The Gate. Larry, are there any other diets that you like, or is whole foods plant-based diet the only great one? Yeah, I think so. I mean, some people advocate that pescatarians, they reckon, do like as well. But the fact is, we've not seen whole foods vegan, no salt, no oil, no sugar, you know, versus whole foods vegan, no salt, no oil, no sugar, and then fish 3 times a week. We've not seen the study. And there's nothing beneficial in fish that you can't get elsewhere. There's no fibre in fish. There's like a fraction of the nutrition. You know, yeah, you've got good amounts of things like protein, some vitamin D, some DHA, but nothing you can't get in plants. But you've got cholesterol in the cells of, you know, the membranes of the muscle cells of the fish, and you know, you got these pollutants that biomagnify up the food chain. I can't see how, you know, I haven't got hard data to show, but I think we can infer, like, the more whole plant foods we eat, the more nutritious, the better. The more animal products without fibre, you know. I think sea meat just isn't quite as unhealthy in most ways as like land meat, land flesh. It's the same stuff though. It's the same basic stuff, isn't it? It's muscle, you know, but it's muscle that swims instead of like walks or whatever. So yeah, I'm not a fan. I just think, why put in stuff that's got potentially like loads of pollutants in here, like microplastics, like with the xenoestrogens. Yeah, no, not a fan of anything but whole plant foods. Owen, have you got any recommendations on soaps to prevent skin irritations from your martial arts days? It's not something that I ever was sort of plagued with. Skin infections, right. Yeah, no, it's not something we ever worried about. So, yeah, I've got no clue, I'm afraid. Super Monkey, I'm well informed about the negative side of the dairy and animal industry. However, I can't simply change overnight. It will take some time. I think, yeah, in terms of getting your gut micro... Oh, yeah, and you're saying that I need to just increase... Adjust to increase fibre. I think there's a lot to be said for that. I think you're being very clever. I mean, I suppose you could drop out the animal products and put in like mock meats. You know, if you wanted to do it that way, that would also work. But yeah, I think don't go 100% whole plant food straight off the bat, because you will, you know, most likely struggle in terms of like your gut dysbiosis, basically. I'm staying at home with my non-vegan family in between semesters. Also don't want to force a diet with my girlfriend. It's hard, isn't it? It's hard. Neil, you are a very special person, Paul. You lovely man. You lovely man. Just taking a few seconds out of your day to tell me that and make me feel good. Brilliant. Do you know, I get a few troll comments, but I get thousands of positive comments, and I just think, well, this tells me a bit more about you than it does about me, son. And I'm sorry that you're suffering and your suffering's spilling over. And yeah, give me all you got, because you can't affect me with your little black and white pixels all stacked up in different ways. Like, how is that meant to make me upset? It's just squares on the screen. Thank you, Neil Whaling. You are lovely. Michael Jackson in the Hay House. Owen Samurai. Oh, I've already seen you. Why am I saying your name again? I just like saying it, I think. Oh yeah, the vegan pothead. Lol, sorry. I mean, can you just book the Bannatyne thing, or is it by invitation only? Yeah, they basically started trading 2 days ago. We went to the launch day. So yeah, it's in Bury St Edmunds, Bannatyne Spa Resort. Yeah, you just book it. And please say Hench Herbivore sent you, so hopefully they invite me back down again. Sophie's comment was hidden by YouTube, because I think they were worried it was a troll comment, but I think it's probably a nice comment. Sophie, this guy looks so pale and deficient. Just there you go, just kidding. Thanks so much for what you do, making those puny carnivores look even more stupid. I mean, like, you're carrying the protein though. Bullshit. Thank you, lovely. Oh, it's because of the swear word. That's why that got hidden, actually. Thank you so much. You are very kind. How are you, Sophie? Where in the world are you? How's the vegan scene there, and how are you doing? Let us know. We like to get to know new stream members. Threxes, I'm from Hungary. I switched to a vegetarian diet a month ago. I think they're going vegan. Nice. Let's give Threxes a round of applause as well. I love it. I love it. Honestly, like, my only regret from going vegan, you know, is that it took me 38 years to do it. Wish I'd have done it sooner. I just didn't know. Just feels so good. Functions so much better. You're less likely to be the cause of your own death. You know, like dairy products, you know, they have the most saturated fat. Sat fat raises your risk for the #1 killer of humans, heart disease, and it raises your all-cause mortality risk. And we can, you know, we have the power. Like, if we just eat, you know, the whole plant foods, you know, we can prevent and treat disease. In some cases, even reverse certain diseases with a healthy enough diet. We are the most amazing machines. We're self-repairing machines. Sadly, most of us re-injure ourselves daily, you know, 3 times a day with our food choices. Biggest killer of humans is what they put in their mouths. About 3/4 of us die because of that. And it's unnecessary and it's sad. Larry, I do follow the whole foods plant-based diet and have enough energy. Oh, okay, like fat carbs is an English app, and I am bad at guessing the weight. Can you maybe give some tips for a noob like me? Guessing the weight? What do you mean? Guessing your weight? Yeah, so you want to be quite accurate with it. So I would invite you, if you're talking about your body weight, I would invite you to get some good scales and yeah, keep an eye on that, and then try take your calories relative to what your body weight's doing. So once a week in the morning after the loo, before you eat or drink anything, yeah, weigh yourself on a flat surface with some good scales that preferably digital and that do small increments, and they do weekly reweigh under that same protocol, and just titrate your calories. If you're trying to like go up in weight a little bit, obviously you eat a bit more than maintenance. If you're trying to maintain, just eat the same calories and just keep tweaking it until you find the sweet spot. It's being scientific like that, and then you're taking the guesswork out. To fail to prepare is to prepare to fail. And there's some stuff tonight. And I eat Nooch like it's going out of fashion. Good for you. I don't, and I do as well. And Dave Hansen has just subscribed. And my German teacher was called Mrs. Hansen. Little known fact. And thanks for subscribing. And I'm sorry about that little anecdote. That wasn't that interesting. Nooch is live, that's for sure. Fabrizio. What a cool name. Really enjoyed your video in the vegan hotel resort. How crazy is that? A Bannatynes resort is vegan. Football not coming home. It's going away. It's going. Football's going away. Never mind. We'll be back there in another 60 years. I'm miles behind, aren't I? I am miles behind. Guys, I'm going to skip forwards a little bit just so that I'm a bit more up to date. If I miss your comment or question, please pop it back in the chat and hopefully I'll get to it this time. Manos, hey Paul, I love how you are a vegan fitness channel, but you managed to make clear of the ethical nature of veganism. There's a lot that confuse the two, isn't there, Jest? And thank you for your kind words. Vegan Pothead, do you have any protests or events about non-vegan animals in circuses? I did one a week ago and it was heartbreaking. No. Have you done any? No. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it doesn't do me good to do these kind of things really and dwell on it. It just ruins me. Yeah, bless your heart. That's hard. Sophie is in the UK, not doing too great, but thanks for asking. Relationship trouble. That sucks, doesn't it? That's really hard. Sorry to hear that. As you know, the vegan scene here is great. That's very true. Whereabouts in the UK are you? Definitely vegan for animals, not for health, but maybe one day. Do you know, like, our ability to handle heartbreak and, like, just like depression, anxiety, all these negative human emotions, which are all natural and normal and necessary. Our ability to handle those is somewhat predicated on our nutrition and our lifestyle. And I'm not saying if something horrible happens that you're not going to feel horrible potentially for months, like on end, but our ability to carry on and to build enough monoamines, to be happy. A lot of it is predicated on the nutrition we're putting in. So it's not just physical health, it's mental health as well. If we're eating pro-inflammatory like oils, sugars, even if you're not eating the pro-inflammatory meat, you can still have a load of inflammation. And even if nothing bad particularly is happening in your life, you can be like miserable. Certain foods as well, whole plant foods, lower our monoamine oxidase, giving us more free serotonin and dopamine. I would really encourage you, Sophie, to just do something positive. Add in like one more serving of fruits or vegetables a day or something for the week, and just slowly over time maybe get a bit more towards health, because it probably doesn't seem like it, particularly when things have gone really bad, and you just think, oh, this is going to be forever now, and what's a bit of nutrition going to do? But you can be surprised. It's not the answer to everything. It's not going to solve everything, but it's going to stand you in better stead. Or anyone, it's going to stand anyone in better stead. The more fruits and veggies and things we eat, the better our mental health potential is. And the less animal products we eat. If we eat animal products, there's toxic breakdown products, because these Bacteroides strains of bacteria, they putrefy protein residues in the colon. They create cadaverine, putrescine, cresol. They sound disgusting. It's the smell you get off of a dead body, if you've ever smelled a dead body. That's what they are. And they lead to depression and anxiety, like they do. Anyway, I'll stop banging on too much, but what I'm saying is you all deserve to look and feel your best. And when you are depressed, when things have gone bad, it is harder to be bothered. But that's the time when we need to be eating well, we need to be exercising, and that's the greatest non-drug intervention versus like depression, anxiety, and all these negative things. Anyway, I don't know how much that may help or not, but I hope it does. And bless you. Let's send Sophie some love, can we? Love is the answer, really, isn't it? More than nutrition. We need to be taking in lots of love. There you go. There's 20 hench hearts. They are worth 50 normal emoji hearts. So just imagine. Yeah. I hope things soon start to pick up for you, my lovely. You seem like good people. Foxy Blonde, totally agree with what you said. A lot of illness due to food. Cigarettes come with a cancer warning, yet meat doesn't. Yeah, exactly that. And yeah, processed meat is carcinogenic, isn't it? Like, just the same. Hello.
Hi, lovely. I just got to take my poo sample to the doctor's.
Oh, that's nice.
And I hope you all wanted to know that, because now you know.
I'm going to do another 20 minutes, and then can we do... Oh, actually, I'll probably eat first. Or will I eat the...
There's nothing prepared.
Yeah, so I could eat the...
So you could make that up and then you could eat that. Yeah.
So can we crack on with that as soon as you get back?
Yeah. I'm just cycling there and back. So
you're cycling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll see you later, everybody.
That is the hand of the voice from beyond. Where the blinking hell was I? I can't remember where I was, everyone. Oh, here we go. Tom, when lab meat becomes available in the UK, will you give it a try? Hell no, on grounds of grossness and nutrition/health. But I'm glad it's going to be a thing for them animals. So Sophie is in West Midlands, just south of Birmingham, a small town called Bromsgrove. Interesting. Larry, when can I trust a study? What would be the criteria I should focus on for the credibility? It's really seeing that there's no conflict of interests. That's number one. I mean, I'm no research scientist. I basically put my trust in nutritionfacts.org because they are research scientists and they see, like, you know, who funded the study? Was it good? Was it a good design, or was it set up to show like a false positive or whatever? And they do cite the study, so you can go and look. The more academic amongst us can validate like what they're saying and decide for themselves. So yeah, I'm no expert, but nutrition facts are. So I defer to those guys. Vegan pothead, I don't want to put a downer on the football thing, but we should also think of women who have been abused. These rates go up by 30% when England lose. Yeah, these are the real victims. Yeah. When a new slaughterhouse opens, I heard domestic abuse goes up reported goes up 300%. It's mad, isn't it? What the hell's wrong with people? Owen, do you wear minimalist footwear? No. I'm normally barefoot where I can be, but out and about and in the gym, I just have some light trainers. I got sent some from a brand called Hilo, which are aiming to be the next Nike, but like a sustainable, kind version that treats their workers well. Threxes, I don't really like dairy, but I have a hard time giving up eggs. Maybe do you have any suggestions for an alternative replacement? Scrambled tofu is good. It's pretty much the same, but more tasty in my view. Ashley Tonkin in the hizzy. Unknown error. I want to become vegan. Have been a big meat eater for 23 years, so I feel I would struggle cutting out meat. So it's the best approach to become fully vegan, applying for the Marines next year. Nice. I mean, I ate more animal products than anyone being a bodybuilder. I was eating 500 grams of animal protein a day. I've not met anyone who eats anything like that. And yeah, I went like 98% whole foods plant-based straight off the bat. I just wondered, is there something in like, fish or dead cow's bum that, nutritionally that we need? But after a few months, I just lost the taste for it, and I just kept looking at the data, and I just saw, no, like there is nothing. Like we just eat the range of whole plant food, supplement a B12. If you're not getting sun, supplement D3. But like 2/5 of Americans are B12 deficient, and they're not vegan. Like half the world is vitamin D deficient or insufficient. And you need like 2,000 IUs roughly a day to be optimal. And the average omnivorous eater eats about 300 from their food. So, these are not vegan specific things, really. So, I would just say cut down, like make your first meal vegan, do that for a week, and then do your first 2 meals vegan. Just find some good recipes. There's loads of free recipes on my channel. I've got a cookbook called Where Do You Get Your Protein? Link below. It's just $4.99. It's half price at the minute. So it's got like 30 recipes that if you're into, perhaps if you're eating a lot of animal products and I guess if you're joining the Marines, I'm going to guess you do a lot of like, strength and, fitness stuff. So, yeah. But yeah, it's really easy. But yeah, just take a few short weeks to slowly transition over. It's good to take a little while because your gut microbiome needs to adjust to the new healthier food. I think particularly in terms of your endurance, you'll be having more carbs, you'll be having more greens and beets and things like vasodilating foods from the nitric oxide, more antioxidants, so you'll recover quicker. I think that you'll notice no difference to your strength, although you may not be quite as sore, but you will notice definite benefits to your cardiovascular fitness. Like, it's huge. I think you're going to love it. I think you're really going to thrive. Let us know how you get on. Owen, will Gemma ever make her own channel? She has got one, actually. I think it's called Finding Gemma. She's not posted there for a while. I think she will. We've just been very busy lately. I think she's trying to find her groove, like what's her real interest. And I think she'll go more down the line of like mental health and then applying it to veganism and like just how to communicate with others and all that sort of thing. I think that'll be her focus, and just living life authentically and being vulnerable and sharing and just talking about her health journey. She does a lot on her Instagram, Gemma_Herbivore. Just going over my head right now. You follow her there. She does loads of like vloggy type stories and deep, meaningful wall posts. Yukon Wolves. I stopped drinking coffee for a week. Now, what do you drink that equals coffee? Equals to coffee energy. Plus, I love when you stream. You look so relaxed and spiritual. Gemma, so funny. Thanks for saying that. Historically, I was terrified of broadcasts. So the fact that you're saying I look relaxed and spiritual, that tells me I've come a long way. That means a lot. I need to hear that, actually. So thank you, my friend. You're very kind. In terms of energy, like, it's a false energy, isn't it? You're robbing Pete to pay me, and you will have to pay it back. So really, sleep well, rest well, work out, eat adequate calories. Like, energy comes from your food. But in terms of a little lift, I quite like matcha green tea. Or you can just use normal green tea, but matcha's better because you swallow in the leaves, and so you get in all the like 10 times the antioxidants, for instance. And I find that gives you a lift, but it's a lot longer sustained. It's a lot less jittery. So you're getting like the L-theanine, which kind of calms you. And you don't get the crash. It's like longer lasting with no crash. So yeah, matcha if you want something, but ideally you shouldn't need it. And if you feel like you need it, probably you've hurt your adrenal system, and You know, you then get to the stage where you need a coffee just to like get by. I certainly got to that stage in the past, and it didn't do me a lot of good. I actually found I had more energy when I kicked the habit. Smart man is very humorous, but YouTube didn't like the swear word. There you go. We'll give you some love. Sophie, thanks for being so kind. You've honestly raised my mood a bit. Nice, and that's not easy. Thank you. You're very welcome, Sophie. And I wish you were a bit more local so I could give you a big old hug. Bless you. You seem like good people. Larry Coxlock, how was the history? Oh, hang on. How was the history of the cigarette industry, and is it parallel current dairy industry? Where are we at today? Are you talking in terms of like studies? How they used to, you know, pay scientists to say like, oh, cigarettes don't seem to be like harmful or whatever? Because yeah, that's definitely a thing. It's just creating what do they call it? Merchants of, what's the phrase? Mistrust. Merchants of Doubt. I think there's a film called Merchants of Doubt. And the thing is, like, you don't have to prove like that cigarettes are not unhealthy, that milk is not unhealthy. You just have to put enough doubt in people's minds, and people like to hear good news about their bad habits. So if it's not conclusively proven that like these things are going to kill you, people will just carry on because they can't be asked to change. So they'll say, oh, so some people say cigarettes are bad, some people say milk is bad, some people say it's fine. Oh, even the experts can't make up their minds. I might as well just do what I want. But no, the scientists who were paid by the cigarette industry, by the dairy industry, they're saying it's okay. But can you see what might be wrong with that? But the scientists who are not funded by these industries are saying like, wakey wakey is what I would say to that. Yeah, slaughterhouses do not bring anything good, do they, Potterhead? Yeah, you're damn straight. You know, if you can like do the worst abuse to an animal, then you know, humans are just other animals. They're like I call them gateway victims. You know, it's easy to victimize chicks because you just want to eat an egg, so you turn the other eye while someone drops a chick in a blender while you buy their eggs. You know, if you eat an egg, well, you might as well eat a fish. Like, they don't scream. You know, they haven't got eyebrows that are expressive. They can't say, please don't like suffocate me to death. You know, so therefore you might as well eat a pig, and yeah, you might as well do the worst things to a human as well, because what's the difference really? Gateway victims. And I will say, like, you know, I'll put my hand up, I've said this before, but I was the worst person. Like, years ago, I was a bouncer, I was acting out of insecurity, and if someone was rude to me, like, they were going to get it. And like, there was no need for me to like hurt them, but there was an excuse to show everyone how tough I am now. And but then I thought, if I don't want to harm a chicken I've never met, like, why am I okay with punching my fellow man in the mouth just because he's a bit rude to me? You know, and he's suffering spilling over. Perhaps I can just forgive that, and then maybe he doesn't give it to the next person, you know, because I gave him a slap or whatever. And the world is a much more beautiful place when you act out of love, I'll tell you that. So life is so much better. Well said, Foxy Blonde. Shaman Askew's in the house. Shaman. Very good. Are you into your spiritual practices, Shaman Askew? I'm interested. I do a little bit of that sort of thing. Foxy Blonde, Nike do vegan trainers, they look decent. Is that a fact? That's very good. Of course, you know, the other thing though, because I have bought a lot of Nike in the past, but I saw the film about all the child labour and all that sort of like sweatshops. Oh, horrible bloody company. I don't think I've bought anything really recently from them, but I was still buying it after knowing that fact. And then, you can't do everything, can you? You just, well, you can. I sort of justified it to myself because I thought, well, I'm a PT. I need to be wearing like Nike, because that's kind of a badge of like prestige, isn't it, almost? But know that Hilo are out, and they're actually I'm collaborating with them, so they're going to send me like quarterly care packages. So hopefully I don't have to buy them. But yeah, if they've got vegan options now, at least that's bloody something, isn't it? That's very good, isn't it? Particularly a huge brand like that. That's massive for veganism. Yeah, so that's very good news. Thanks for letting us know, Foxy Blonde. Yeah, Vivo Barefoot look very good, Dan. Bloodhill, on the topic of footwear, what do you think of these plant-based leathers like cacti and pineapple? It seems a bit pricey, but I suppose they make it as well. But not. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Like, we just need these alternatives, like these cruelty-free alternatives for people. Yeah, I think that's brilliant. Okay, Ignis, that's interesting. Foxy Blonde, right, I'm going to order the D3 drops. I still don't understand DHA. Right, so if... basically, I would recommend that you eat 2, preferably 3.5 tablespoons of preferably ground chia seeds. You can have a bit of ground flax as well, but I wouldn't go more than 1 tablespoon. But you want up to like 3.5 tablespoons of combined ground flax and ground chia. That should give you all the ALA you need. Now, if go on that chronometer app, if you don't eat more than 3 or 4 to 1 in favour of omega-6 relative to omega-3, so say you got 5 grams of omega-3, you want no more than 20 grams of omega-6, you should be fine, and you should not need a DHA. However, the science suggests there may be benefits to some direct DHA. So this is the long chain version of omega-3. ALA is the short chain version. It's like the active version. Some unfortunate people, if they've got some sort of genetic like issue, like I don't want to say disability, but a genetic defect, basically, like the genes are not doing quite what they should. There are some people who must have direct sources of DHA. Personally, I put it in as a fail-safe. But again, if your levels are correct, if you've got adequate and you're balanced, you should be okay. I don't know if you can do some kind of test to see whether you need like a DHA, and it's fairly rare. From my understanding, there's not many instances. But yeah, do take good care to get adequate ALA and balance your omega-3 and omega-6. I hope that helps. John Doe is in the house again. Love the cookbook. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. Michael Jackson, have you tried Greg's vegan sausage roll? No, I will not put something like that in my gob for health reasons. It's salty as all hell. Salty as all hell. Probably some saturates in there. Shortenings, like maybe hydrogenated oils. White flour. There's nothing in there that I would really want to eat, like in terms of constituent ingredients. But you know, each to their own, and I'm very glad that they exist because, they've done well, haven't they? They've been selling like hot sausage rolls. Diffused clarity. Adidas have a lot of vegan options for sneakers. Nice. It's all happening, isn't it? Itchy Eyes Realise. Really enjoying my journey eating plant-based. I would miss honey so much if I went all the way. Any tips? If you're eating honey, that's a free sugar. That is the worst risk factor nutritionally for Alzheimer's disease. So I would say hang out with some Alzheimer's patients, see how terrified they are and how unhappy, and see their friends and family trying to communicate with them and all the heartache, and rethink your life. Sorry. Vegan, you can get vegan honey, like made from apple juice. You can get agave nectar. Maple syrup is delicious. But again, these are all free sugars. And they apparently, according to the latest research, are the worst contributors nutritionally to Alzheimer's disease, which is a growing disease, and it's horrible. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. You know, why would you want to end your life like unable to like fend for yourself again, so relying on others, feeling like a burden? You know, it's and you could be really confused and terrified. You just wonder what the hell's going on, and that's how you end your years. It's no way to live. Ignace, but they're all knitted, not vegan leather, right? You're talking about high-low, aren't you? And yes, they are knitted. Really, I like them because they're nice and breathable. You know, I can get quite sweaty. Chigo, whenever I eat greens, I feel like I have to wash every leaf to avoid getting parasites, so I end up not eating them. Tips to increase my green intake: get frozen greens. All that hard work's been done for you, all that worrying, and yeah, just get them in you. Threxes, could there be any danger of overdosing DHA? Is that even possible? I don't know that we have science on it, but yeah, there is some science to show like increased prostate cancer risk. But again, like this was all done on fish oil. So it may be that it's the contaminants in the fish and not the DHA in and of itself that is the issue. But certainly, like the science is not complete. So for me, I just take in the amount of supplementation that's shown to be optimal, which for an average adult is 250 milligrams per day. I think there's no further benefit as far as you know to higher. But if there is a danger, then you're potentially like, you know, putting yourself at risk for no good reason. So yeah, I wouldn't add in more than 250 micrograms from a supplement. Vegan Pothead, I'm very into spiritual stuff, like what were you saying about before, holding my rose quartz and amethyst crystals as I type. I've got a opalite angel. Opalite is actually a man-made crystal, but she's meant to help boost my business. Oh, hang on. And Gemma's put this here. Yeah, rose quartz. I'm feeling the love. I thought it was just from you guys, but I forgot that rose quartz is for self-love as well, isn't it? I had a really interesting thing happen. A couple of things with crystals. I don't know how much I believe in them or not. Like, I have no investment either way, but I just think, why not? And yeah, as you know, I used to suffer with the old anxiety in terms of broadcast, and I got asked to go to the local radio station to talk about veganism, and because I was struggling before, Gemma bought me a lapis lazuli like necklace, which is blue with gold flecks, and it's meant to be good for like having a voice, like for being confident. And I went to the radio station, and it actually turned out I was speaking on the BBC World Service. I was speaking to 166 million people about veganism, and it actually went really well. And I was thinking to myself, oh, I said, good job I hadn't lost that necklace, because I might have felt less confident, and then it might have like gone bad. And then the next thing, I was weight training at the time. I was doing a Viking like shoulder press on this machine, and I heard a sound of something hitting the floor, and it was the crystal had fallen out of the setting. And now, some people who are into spiritual mumbo jumbo will say, like, crystals like tend to want to stay with you while they're of use, and then like they want to go and like move on and help the next person. And of course, like, you know, it's not very scientific, and where's your double-blind placebo-controlled trials and what? But anyway, I just thought, yeah, I don't need that anymore, and I stopped. I didn't fix it. I didn't ever put it back on again. So that was interesting. And there was one other thing involving a cornelian crystal, and I can't tell you about that because it's quite X-rated, but there was quite a profound happening. It was quite mad. Maybe I need to do a late night adults only stream where I can talk about it. But that was crazy. Do you know, I'm just going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. Why not? So after doing steroids for years, my testosterone was through the floor. On a scale of 9 to 27, it was 3. I was basically not producing hardly any testosterone. And of course, that affects your libido, like, massively. I just had no interest in sex. And then this cornelian crystal is meant to, it's like a red colour. It's meant to boost your, do they call it like the root chakra? Like the part of the chakra that is responsible for birth and death. So like, like sexual energy and all that sort of thing. And this is really crazy. I bought that crystal. I had it in my pocket all day. At night, I put it next to the bed. And during the night, something happened. Involved, like sleepwalking, but not walking, and involving Gemma as well. Just happened in my sleep, which hadn't happened for years. Like it's called sexomnia. I used to suffer with it when I was younger, probably because I was overdoing steroids like an idiot, and that hadn't happened for years. And it just happened on the night after the day I bought that particular crystal, which was meant to boost. I mean, was that just a coincidence? Like, had I just not tried for ages, and so then my hormones were more set up to be more successful? But it was just so different. It was like a totally different personality all of a sudden. So, anyway, I'm sorry I talked about that on this stream. I hope there's no children listening in. And I just find it interesting. Like I say, I've got no skin in the game. I'm not saying that I believe in crystals. I'm not saying that they're hooey. I'm saying I don't know. But I've had these couple of interesting experiences, and I'm just open to whatever, really. I'm open to whatever. I think we should keep an open mind. And not everything can be proven by science. So I think the most stupid thing we can say is it's not measurable, so obviously it's not right. How arrogant. Who are we to say, like, like a dog can hear like loads of higher pitches than we can? Doesn't mean that those pitches don't exist. It means that our senses are incapable of perceiving them. And maybe there's so much more going on than we can see, hear, feel and taste. Maybe there's all kinds of dimensions occupying the same kind of space in the quantum field, but we just can't just tell with our limited senses. And why wouldn't there be more things? How arrogant, like how stupid, like for a scientist to say that. Yes, like it's good to be skeptical. It's good to have data, but not everything could be measured. Not yet anyway. And to say that it doesn't exist because you can't measure it, it just boggles my mind that a scientist could think that way. It just boggles my mind. Michael Jackson, will you respect Piers Morgan if he became vegan? No, because he's a horrible troll person. He likes to upset people for clicks. Mind you, I'm very conscious that I kind of do the same thing, so pot kettle. Yo. Oh no, hang on. I missed out Aslan. Didn't eat any on the junk and meat. What should I do and how much should I add to start? Oh, sorry, I missed your other afternoon, my good people. Hope you're all well, Hench. Just wanted to know how much fibre should I add? Hardly ate any on my diet, if none at all even. That is a real horrible risk for serious disease. Start low and build up to as high as you can tolerate. But start really low and give it time, because you need, basically your gut at the minute, your colon will be full of horrible pathogenic bacteria known as Bacteroides, and they create illness. And now when you start eating the fibre, so soluble fibre, resistant starch, polyphenols, as you eat more and more whole plant foods, legumes, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, herbs and spices, these bad guys will die off because they don't eat that stuff. The good guys, the Prevotella strains, will thrive because that's what they do eat. But it takes a little while. And if you try to do it too quickly, You know, you're going to get dysbiosis, you're going to get pain, bloating, gas. Changes in gut motility can be diarrhea, constipation with diarrhea, which is particularly horrible. You know, it's not going to be fun. So just take a few short weeks, you know, take out some of your older foods, add in more whole plant foods. Just take a few short weeks like that until you're eating all the fiber. You know, the more fiber we eat, the better our health outcome in terms of stroke risk, all-cause mortality. There is no upper ceiling where more fibre has not been shown to be beneficial, like more beneficial. But of course, it depends how much you can handle, and you don't want to be giving yourself diarrhea, so everything's passing through you too quick. So, you know, go by your own feeling, how you're doing, and, you know, just take your time. And here she is.
You're still going.
I'm still going. Oh, I forgot to come off. I forgot to come off.
I've been, but
yeah.
More than 20 minutes.
All right. Okay, guys, I better go in because I'm really hungry, but we need to shoot, as I say, the end of my video. It's a homemade vegan chicken mayo. It's delicious. It's delicious. And my mouth's watering, so I better go. Thanks, moderators, for keeping us troll-free. Thanks for the super chats, keeping the beans on my toast, the wolves from the door, and the cameras rolling. We're back tonight, 6 p.m. GMT, me and the little lady. So look forward to that. Look forward to my video later today as well. And in the meantime, if you haven't seen it yet, as I said earlier in the stream, we got invited to a Bannatyne's spa resort where they launched the first of its kind, like totally vegan menu. Like they only serve vegan food in their restaurant, and they're doing vegan spa days. So me and Gem kindly got invited to that. So I've put the link in the stream. Please watch that. If you don't watch it, please just play it in another window, because it just helps the algorithm so we get more views and we can make the world vegan sooner. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. I love you all very much. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you very, very soon. Bye for now, guys. Bye for now.